Abu Jinapor abieja agum. Ai, Abu Jinapor afaya. Na wakan sema mu eduru pa. Edi achire yewura sikani no. Ene ne nua Sticka. Ensem no mu edene pa. Na ensem no me de enye me wonwa. Na mepese wo nso no wo betie bi. Na wo de bi beto wadwenem. Yensem ayewura Abu Jinapor ede to dwa no. Ensem bi a sabi so ye MPP ni papa na wo ye MPP delegates. MPP for amount. Jinapire titiri bi se wo ye delegate ya kwanya eyini animonyam na ye de ahyew. Enti se wo ye MPP ni na wo ye delegate especially e wo se niam bi mo ha wa ankasa no nka wo hu se one MPP nyenkramofo party, MPP nya asorefo party, MPP won nya abosonsomfo party, MPP nya abronfo party, MPP nya asantefo party, MPP nya sremfo party, ana nya anwona da gomba ana se mfantefo party, MPP Ghana mine no agyapade. Obibi oye Ghana ni bia tumi join party ne man ye. Obibi oye Ghana ni ba bia no etumi join party ne bedi mu panyini e man ye. Abu Jinapor ne nsema oka no eye nsema eye part of the fundamentals and the foundations of our party, because your party na your friend UP as chere say United Party a ye form ya ye form no ye ko fa ebinum free srem, ebinum free nkran, ebinum free sahwiman mu, ebinum free asanteman mu, ebinum free abonoman mu, ena ebinum nso sabio ye ko form free denkraman mu na ye de om form the UP party ye friend the United Party a generate to become the MPP. It is why MPP ni ba eni kwan se woma obisuma osom ebeye an obstacle to vote him as your leader. Party no, we need only people more competence no. Omo wonim de ne akade no obetum de di party nanim. Omo de akwakoje to me e de abreye. Yemfa ho ne babia nipa ne free. Yemfa ho de wo no. Yemfa ho ne nase, yemfa ho ne soma osom, na yemfa ho ene kasa oka. MPP de yenima ene se we opia sabio ye du gina ho ne ye sinsan wo mu yi a yetimu se uwo de what it takes to be a leader of a party called MPP. Eno na enyina ye enti nkrofo na omonama omon nsam ka kire nipa omudi ntroso omo bi enyuma fa nipa 7,000 workers. I am fear maku enum nie workers na ebinum ngui ebinum meka ho ebinum mfirimu nipa dodo na eno ana ye no omonim se message na tonsum no ene omoni ntichemu ene nipa ntamu seye ene eba ye party no. Abu Jinapor se yemfa saa warning we ema won yenti video we na yensam na sesia
hu biem omodi papa mu supa ompesa omodi papa mu ba we free ha we sum nyame we ye say they have misread the MPP. Obia or student of MPP politics. Now we study MPP politics. MPP is a national political party. Let that get straight into their head. MPP is not a southern party, it's not a northern party, it's not an eastern party, it's not a western party. It is a Ghana party, a national party. Choboy, if MPP was a sectarian party and a sectional party, in all humility and modesty, a little boy of my kind, born to a policeman and born to a nurse, in a small, tiny village called Fufuso, without electricity, without water, without decent schooling, will not have risen through the MPP to sit around cabinet with all manner of people across the length and breadth of Ghana. MPP is a national party. MPP is a Ghana party. MPP is not a Muslim party. MPP is not a Christian party. MPP is not a traditional party. And to those who are involved in tribal bigotry, let it be said to them in plain language, shame on you. Shame on you. And MPP will reject you on January 31st. And MPP will show that Dr. Bawumia, it doesn't matter his roots. It doesn't matter who was his father. It doesn't matter where he's born. It doesn't matter which God he worships. Because he's competent and because he's a man of integrity, because he's saved, because he's humble, because he can unite, because he's formidable, because he can take the fight to the NDC. Because he doesn't discriminate, and because he doesn't insult, and because he can be above all a good president for Ghana, MPP will reward him on January 31st. Dear Kahubiem, Omodim Papa Musupa, Ompasamodim Papa Muba, way free ha, way sum yami way you say. They have misread the MPP. Obia, you're a student of MPP politics. Now I study MPP politics. MPP is a national political party. Let that get straight into their head. MPP is not a southern party. It's not a northern party. It's not an eastern party. It's not a western party. It is a Ghana party, a national party. Choboy, if MPP was a sectarian party and a sectional party, in all humility and modesty, a little boy of my kind, born to a policeman and born to a nurse in a small tiny village called Fufuso, without electricity, without water, without decent schooling, will not have risen through the MPP to sit around cabinet with all manner of people across the length and breadth of Ghana. MPP is a national party. MPP is a Ghana party. MPP is not a Muslim party. MPP is not a Christian party. MPP is not a traditional party. And to those who are involved in tribal bigotry, let it be said to them in plain language, shame on you. Shame on you. And MPP will reject you on January 31st. And MPP will show that Dr. Bawumia, it doesn't matter his roots. It doesn't matter who was his father. It doesn't matter where he's born. It doesn't matter which God he worships. Because he's competent and because he's a man of integrity, because he's saved, because he's humble, because he can unite, because he's formidable, because he can take the fight to the NDC. Because he doesn't discriminate, and because he doesn't insult, and because he can be above all a good president for Ghana, MPP will reward him on January 31st. Dear Kahubiem.
Yes, abusianfo nti yewura bu Jinapor na semwe ya wokan eho hia pa. Semwe na me pese we delegate ya wo se wo mfanto team na wonwere ho yie. Because abato na ye koto ne 31st of this month, January no. Eye abato bi a ye kwa akoto de a kire MPP party no ye Jinapor. Abato na ye koto ya abato bi ye kwa akoto e de a kire Ghana man ne NDC amanyoko se eye no kore MPP for we are back and we are back stronger than 2024. The ye here nyina and say people must vote massively for Dr. Muhammad Bawumia. Because ono na ye nipa bi a medwene se na mihunu se enipa num na omo asori agina ni nyina no obia ye dehye obibia efata se nka obetumi adi party nanim nanso ene Jinapor wo ya ye wo mi baabia ye duru yi baabia ya nante akwa koduru yi baabia ya ton Dr. Bawumia de na akwa koduru ene no papa ye jano si ho ne ye kese ye kofa nipa foforo ede na pa ye ho abro emma obi emadada said Dr Bawumia enya kani emma obi medada said Dr Bawumia oba party ne mu da ben 1992 no ni ho 10 years to come enkrofo na omo na omo ye present in 1992 no none of them will be present there in the party omo nyina bebrebe wu empanfo na omo begina ho ema ye 1992 yerete MPP party no 10 from 10 to 15 years to come ye nya nipa ba akompo a ono no 1992 no ka ho bi enti emo bi medada o se enam se 1992 na obi nka party ne ho anase na onye party member na onye father of he can say founders of the party nti no onse mfata so obedi party nanim obi bi obeka asem bi ente sa akire obi ano nwa ba me be ma odada empenfo na omuti party no omuti party in 1992 na ayeka no omode mra ene ntotoye bi ene tenase ede nyino party efre ne MPP na saa mra na omode nyino party no ba bia ni ho omokire se obi a wamma me no nka party ne ho in 1992 entimi ni party nanim ema ne yeye de omoka ye ne se obi bi obeka party ne ho emfie maako nwotwe na obedi ne ho ni ti se party ni ba te so obetua ne to na obeye nipa bia ne nyuma ne yoye ne yobre ne suban emfanka bibin fantia party no in that 8 years no saa nipa no efata se so bedi party nanim enti ewura Bawumia onye hoho wo party no wabro de sabio empanfo na wabro sabio empanfo na even emra na empanfo no twede to ho no sabio Dr Bawumia wabro sa mra no so se ose fata se obedi party nanim nua Dr Nana memo akwa wafa Dr wabro so de to so mienu bi me kan sini pina watie ne ye delegate ya wutie me kana mine da ho bia ya draw ye map na fa a etese ehoye saasas no ye frɛ ne GHANA no dom kuma nim dom kase nim dom ketwa nim nyina ye Ghana for because saman asase na yesi ye frɛ ne GHANA no ene babia ni ho obekɔ a unhu sabio obi okakasa foforo bi ewo territory bi so babia obekɔ bia amanfo kwada katima mu amanfo camp no wo ho ubabunu mani amanfo kandagare wo ho okwa akra ebinom kan fante bi kan asante bi ka dagomba bi kan dakate bi ka frafra nkasa hodo bebere asekyerɛ ne sɛ yɛn nyinaa yɛ nipa ko baako ɛna me no kasa yi woyɛ akani na ɔde wasɛm kɔforo frafra ne bi a wanhwɛ yɛ wo kurom akamfo na na bɛkye wabo because kwanya yafa so agye ho atum na yɛatena se mfie bebree ɛwɔ yɛ man no mu a yɛgye ho tum ɛnɛ Ghana man mu woyɛ kristoni na wokɔka nkramoni bi ntɔkɔ a wonua kristofo na bɛkye waboro because yɛdeɛ kristofo dan nie na muslimisfo mo dan nie na obi esom ne som yɛne obi an ntɔkɔ ɛkyerɛ sɛ yɛgye ho tum yɛte ho ase yɛte ho ase na yɛnyina yɛte ho de wosom ɛnyɛ mesom na men ha wadwene wosom a wosom ho ɛna wosom na wosom no ɛmma wo mɛyɛ nipa ketewa wɔ manim ana mesom a mesom ɛmma me mɛyɛ nipa ketewa wɔ manim obia ɛne ne gidie Ghana man ɛnyɛ Christianity states. Ghana is multiple religion state. And more be metna hon kan chira wo say obi sum mo sum binti nkoto aba man because Ghana for nto aba man. Me minim asori for akamfo na ye wasantin krabo kura wo yekuro. Asantin krabo ye will be wo yekuro. Asare Nicholas Mwakwaba, Abuana Muhammad wonso Mwakwaba. Asantin kramo ye will be e wo yekuro. Enti akamfo ni nkramofo ye ne ntokwa. Sabio akamfo sorry Christopher ni nkramofo ye ne ntokwa. Akamfo ni siremfo ye ne ntokwa. Yeah. And now me no kasa the whole of Ghana na ye team no. And the Ghana man na ye team no. Even the so said Akan regions na ye kano. Uko omu district level. And the regional level omu di mansini no so no bebere na na ye siremfo. Bebere so ye nkramofo. Even some district bia a pure Akan district kurano enkramofo bunum na ye DC ni MC wo. Nobody talks about it. Say nipa we kramoni entimi mani ni meso. Nipa we seremni entima. We don't have that type of problem. Enti the main kamana kwa kusine say sa battle ye kwa 31st January we. It is not about tribal. It is not about your tribe. It is not about your religion. It is not about your background, where you come from. It's all about the person obetumie jina ho na all resemble the symbols of the elephant. We are said we Idris Makwabana Abubakar also Makwaba. A battle na yekotono. All what we need is someone or represent the interest of the party called MPP. That is all what we need. Na ye kan obi otumi ne sune ne ban na nimonyam ne na ho fama e kire se oye se bi obi a otumi gina ho obetumi gina ho de ama party e friend MPP a one ne papa na friend Dr Bawumia ye mi ni suban ye hu na ho ye hu kwan ofa so ye ne nema ye hu kwan a papa we timi transe dwene e di solutions e bra ye enyuma papa we ya no enye Sticka ne agyapong mo tribal bigotry no e ne be mo asesa wa adwene e wo ne ho. Papa na your friend Dr Bawumia no oye nyankopon achede. It is rather Ghana that needs Dr Bawumia to lead the country. Dr Alhaji Muhammad Bawumia no ne nam ho no oye nyame achede. Oman na your friend Ghana no abu nkotodwe wo MPP delegates anim esre mo se mo nkoto abapa na mo nkoyi Dr Bawumia no medi MPP anim na omfiri ho emedi Ghana man anim. Enti mesrew delegate a wutie me wo a wutie me a sabi unim delegate bi wo fasie bi wante bi wo soa bi uhuni pa bi odofu bi oferifo bi eye delegate no ka kire no say onko to abana mfama Dr Bawumia enye ahofenti a yekoto abama Dr Bawumia o enye sikanti ene yekoto abama di Dr Bawumia enye se pressure bi da yenso na yekoto abadiama Dr Bawumia na mmom no de enti e wo se yenkoto abama ne se saa papa no obedi party na ma de di kan owo nhyehyeye ne adwen papa bi de bra party na party ni ba bia no wo nso no benya party ne so mfaso ye free ho ne ye kwani amammuo mu say in the terms of being the leader of the country as itself so papa ne wa adwen a emudo papa no o wa adwen a emudo na utumi de trase edwene ko achiri e define solutions to our problems. Etinye de Sticka beka enye ntro bi akene Japan akɔhwɛ dan mu adia e de akyerɛ Sticka na wa confuse no. Say osio man me Minister of Finance and Dr Bawumia si ompe na odi be me convince oboa. Dr Bawumia ye can answer no. I can tell you, say, the man, he got every ingredient that you need to be a leader. Dr Bawumia ukwane nchen, ukwane officer, ukwana kohe nipo ni omuye juma. The majority of the people that works with him are Christians. Some are accounts. Some are other type. Doctor has never and will never involve himself in any tribal bigotry. Dr. Bawumia is someone who believes a lot in meritocracy. But you tell me, he would a friend, Dr. Bawumia, no, or believe in the ability to do something. That is what he based on to reward a position to somebody. Enye baby nipa ni free. Enye suma nipa ni esom. Enye kasa oka. Enye ni tentene, enye ni titia, enye ni tuntuma na ne koko. Na mbom no, papa no se wadwene na eda wutim no mu eduru se betumi aye ade bia. Ono a ne befro se bra na beje. Eti delegate mfanto ne tim se. Abato na ekoto no. Enye me yakani nti me koto aba makani. Yeni makamfo a omo adi party we a yetimu esom faso. Emfie mako dunsia. Temi ye me kansi subiem. Ye wa kamfo a omo so omo ya kamfo. Na sabio. Omo hu omo se omo kan dom bi hu adom no ye dodo. Enti ya kamfo yenkoto abama won adenti omo ya kamfo sa kamfo na ye ka omo asem no delegate awutie me omo atena party we mu emfie du nwotwe abra na ya ban dunsia abra na ya ban ena ye abam omampanyini e wo Ghana ban mu omo anya mo hwe delegates ya ntonso nsuo kura mamo anom da ya nwene mo hoda ya mfama sem anya hweda enso Dr Bawumia Dr Alhaji Muhammad Bawumia asabio yesi oba ye nkyere ye no all you delegates amokoto aba 31st January way mumu bia adi papa nsa no bibi na atoshe papa na onama maame na onama asema na se woman a oye no ho dokro nti sa akokono no were this CEO for good 8 years 8 good years delegates ahodo various constituencies mo anhu na nimu da monsanka ni pinda wa mammo sabio sika kuna se momfa nkoto nsuo no moda enso Dr Alhaji Muhammad Bawumia se oba ye nkyere no wato ne nsa to ne nsa ama bi so mo so mo forms papa ine toma mo picture ono ani sika na ode mam se momfa ntwa mo picture mfa mfele mo forms papa ine mam lole fe some from Friba Amoon Fan Kotumapa Ewomo districts. And Yesika Ketua. Divided and multiplied by a number of national executives or can say a district no across the whole country. You can't even in Aboma and Yesika Ketua. Dr. Bawumia took care of it. And or so bema mo nyini e wo de mo de mo ho ahye mu And I'm saying, Papa no edwene na Papa no believe in you can say human capital, human development. Papa ni believe in it. And in Tia, na Papa wait 2023 or any campaign, 2024 any campaign or country Ghana for say we are coming to create 1 million coders. Na nya agro no di. Because the man believe in the youth energy na way mu ability na ye wo the modern world the technology and na running the world no papa ni believe in that and he believes that every youth in the country deserve a possibility in his life. Enkrofon kan na omo aka omo ye the day around no omo ji contract e 1 pp aban mu nyina from 2000 to 2008 yankai mo ye ji contract e 1 pp aban mu nyina from 2017 to 2021 yankai mo enedie yesi ye be petumi edi ntino ye kai mo ye mom na ye fight mamo who fight for you why na fight mamo why and a fight mao papa na ye kana sem no ono na sabiu odin hihye ye bia ba en hihye no kire se delegates na mokoto abotchna 31 January akoyi no amana ba be di partner nim no wase ni ure mfiri moda ni ure emfiri moda na kwanye obefa so a emma ni ure emfiri mo no se ye be build a database system. Every delegate, your name, your home address, your phone number, your issues will be written on the database. Dr. Bawumia officer, he can demand his aid to go into the data and see delegates no what were your problems and what are your problems. Every delegate, your phone number will be at the office of Dr. Bawumia. He can call you himself. You can be called by any aide of his. You can call by any secretary to him. Because Dr. Believe said, answer na obe to me tna esro hono. E wo se wunya e forma e gina yie e wo gina bre answer what to me gina soro. So Dr. Bawumia actually has a good plan for the MPP members, especially the electoral area coordinators, delegates around the country, all the members with a higher or lower positions in the party. And he knows how he's going to make sure, say, there will be a contact with you people all the time. And yeah, Doctor has promised, say, Semoto Abamano, no, but yet the leader of the party, once a year, he will meet with all delegates across the country. Obeyo, Papa we, Omiro, Dr. Bawumia, when he promised of something, he delivered it. And you see all the delegates, you know, and found also Otomano and answer one to Amano. Important is so very or we are because he want to build the base of the party. Now I'm a party net me and national 2 minutes 2028, you know. On every delegate, any electoral area coordinator, organizers, and paying for more district level, any regional level, town by town, city by cities, Doctor will know how he will coordinate with you people. He will know how he will connect with you people. He will know how he will make you feel part of a party. We are talking about somebody, Sabio, the owo we are saying, one fan from, no more brain will move ni mojani. Abusianfo, Dr. Alhaji Muhammad Omiani Dasu, and Suadi Huno or Wadima party, no. I believe we say it is one time experience. Every MPP delegate, electoral area coordinators, district level leaders, district level leaders, regional level leaders of the party. We all need to experience the management of this man as a leader of our party. Abusia, miya bema. Enye kasa na yemido. Na mama ya no obisa ho se. Adentia. The men in the party. When I talk about the men, you know what I mean. The strong men in the party, the great men in the party, the most, can I say, politically exposed people in the party. Adentia omunyina di Dr. Bawumia. It is because say omo enena anante, omo nena ayajuma, omo attest na hwe, omo ahu ni sune ne ban, omo ahu kwan ya ofa so a odi nipadom anim. And they believe in him, say he would deliver whatever he promised. The NTM people were to your position. And yet, negation. Who calls him? Now, who calls him? A half-one near the contract, I can say, Mao. Sancro for a moy. Dear no more at the grassroots level, at the grassroots. Dear no more. Now, Toshinum, or multi common funds are no moody investment, and Quasia Sema no moody. Dear no more a year. They did none. Dear no more year. With all the contract that they has, with all the monies that they were sitting on, with all the possibilities that they were having. We young people ni bampona okose okope ade wo mo ho a na omo asentwa mo ho aton ama. Canada Japan is one of the guys are not auton slot of police. Migration na asefo. Papa we not ton. One ton am no dey age favor. Koya ade ma me na me mfa ma. Koya ade na me mfa ma yes slot no kura we no so mfa. And today this man has the audacity to come out and compare himself to someone like Dr. Bawumia. Now MPP for say yes bio yeti and I democracy. Bukusem krachisem we understand. That man can in the Japan should be handled somewhere. Not to allow him come close to even contesting of the leadership of the party. Boni bene yaye. Boni bene yaye. Say obia ye friend Bawumia. Ye dinako. Now as a first time going for presidency, the first gentleman of the land, coming from a catastrophe. Now I destroy every economy in the world. Now across the whole globe, every sitting president to be a co-election during and after and immediate after the COVID, elusu elections. Nanka nyobia sabiu ye didn't tragu papa we so gunanima siakan de yenkan for papa ho, but the man was able to get 41.7%. Is that not miracle? A man for me, amanfo esu economy asɛe nneɛma yɛ kɔbasa anenye under the control of that man. It's not any party and a dear by any. Say at that very moment, there is nothing you could have done to avoid that global economic crash. And so you're swanning in the swap pay. But the man was able to secure more than 41 or 42%. Now, whilst we're trying to cover the mess created by a global economic crashes, now we did a man for a bokrono, Mabai Mufoy and Quasia the party for the Omuya Jimmy for Omuyan Sase, Omuya Gana Sika, Weye Crofo, and today you turn back to come and tell me, say, Yem Fawomra because Dr Bawumia 42%. Ghana MPP for one democracy, a deity. MPP for one and a young kratasem. MPP for one and a nim krata. Yankwan nim krata. And a giant and then lipa back for or tree a part in the form to send to Mago. Now, better high. I said I can Dr. Bawumia the policy menu and the actual. It will say the issue of a welfare database for delegates. He will register names of all delegates in a database. A point of reference to connect the head of the hierarchy with the grassroots. What to do a party no muda? The bend and a buying biaba. What treachery delegate for you din abu kuno kama. The omu contact no money magusu ayefro bisa so want to say. What to be that? This is the first time Dr. Bawumia is coming to do such thing. Now, yen copy message in tia, ma be nyuma, we work 7,000 and I omu and hey. I'm people for delegates, Mesramo me bunko to Jupa Moacho. Mumayan to a bar and Fama Yura Bawumia. The man is a manner. He has getting to wherever he wants to get to. Sad man, he just want to give back to society that he comes from. Papa, we all what he need from the delegates and say, Momana Kwenya. Not the wenyan wana bra bom the my Ghana the channel on to me for kwambiso empty or my Ghana ka e kwamfufuro biso. Na enye obi a ono ankasa wa bo Ghana krono in the name of political party wa bo mine krono enya ne ho se twem. Na osandi twa ye mpoa na mokofa naba. Na okofa naba na ba eden. Na obedi mo atam mo papa no yakohifo omo amobra omo yakohif mun kama no ntum. We are talking about somebody with the quality of a leadership and globally recognized. And then you Dr. Bawumia. It's a papa we ho. Ni akofo di phobia ba ye ho. No be di atem abetwa ye mpoa. Onya message bi nka nkyere yen ntiatemuni intimidation bra. E haye ho. Amanka mbono. Ye yo ye ho. Ye yo ye ho pa. Because ye nyanya tumi mpo ena ye usay. Ye nyanya tumi o ena ye usay. Na ye benya tumi. Look at what we are going to do to you. Oh, me our vice president penyo onye ni paketwa in the books of the world and in the good books of Ghana for two team. I Bawumia arrogant. Bawumia you be o kan nipa na nemu nsamfo ekire no. Se Dr. Bawumia you be a oho ahoa ne ho na omu nipa nka ba bia wa pem so abrabom akoduru no nka you will see what he would have done to you people. But enam say oye humble oye ni humanity e woni mu a year of that kind of a leadership quality, you know, upon all what he has passed in the life. Yes, I pass it in the sense to say, wafa muchiremo. Deɛ wafa mu wɔ abrabɔ mu ɛyɛ prestigious a nka ɛma na kwanya mpo sɛ nka ɔbɛtumi aka biribi a mu eduru ɛsene yɛn mu binom no still the papa no maintain ne ho te sɛ deɛ ɔyɛ abɔfra bi a ɛte sɛ deɛ ɔne ne yɔnko no ne ti pɛnfoɔ ɛna edi nkɔmɔ adentia because ɔyɛ obi a entity a yɛde maa no no nkyerɛ sɛ woyɛ hiani a yɛngu yɛmu kwasia woyɛ hiani a yɛmu animtia na mmom woyɛ sikani a yɛma wo so. In fact, papa we kono ane delegates kasa across the whole country. Aya pe video do me delegate ya okoto aba. Look at how this man merged himself with the people. Look at how this man connect himself with the people. And so no more din komo. But ye papa ba akui. Okono ko ni campaign na delegates na ote ho a okodi nkoma akire won se omonkoto aba mom. No di mo atem na mote ho mo jai ya de mo aye moa but afenfie nan bia na yaba na mo de na mo nwene na mo nso mo ye nipa. What kind of mentality do you go with? Dr. Nan said Rasta MPP delegates will not leave Bawumia for any other candidate. We should let Agyapong get it straight that he can't intimidate anyone. Also, he would pay for any drop of blood on the voting day. This is what Dr. Nana Enso Ediaba. Now, me asema me yike. We be say who is threatening or who is intimidating? Why would there be any blood? There could be a blood. You know why? Because Papa na osi oye MPP ni na okasa osi MPP for Temiye a delegates, a wise and intelligent delegates are more across. Papa no also ye MPP ni no na T MPP no okasa osi MPP for onama bontre na otrete amamfo so na 31st January die besi onamo ena all kind all pedichira amamfo se die besi na wo a ekoto aba na ano mpo wonya 37% wo so wodom na obi onu nya 63% wone no why na wodom ye disi ani a why na bepira. Daniel Ranks from Akawapa. Obushan tell me yepa. Yakwa kotoba unya 37%. Ose wodom enti you are coming to do bukata. Na obi ono nso nya sabio 63%. Di asem na onka. So if any blood drops, Ken will pay for it. Because that is his mantra. Mantra no de nam de na oyo no de okekane ente abusanfo ye wasem kese bone pose. We must to make sure that we reserve this seat of leadership to Dr. Muhammad Bawumia. Because bra you would Bawumia no horo as a vice president and I'm so and a yenya Ghana ID card. Temiye pa Ghana ID card. He would a Jacob for the chassis. One we an NDC for buyer. NDC for Jumaya full Ghana card office for 80 good years. 8 year 1 every month. As you to me issue 1 Ghana card mobile. Yura Dr. Muhammad and Nanado Danko Kuford Bedia Kunya. They took it as a mantra and Dr. Bawumia lead that mantra in your Ghana card for the first time. Yam fancy wa. And I'm Dr. Bawumia na adwene so. Ni nim dear. Any sabi or how a wohu say a wo my muno. And I'm ne so. Emma yenya drone medical delivering system for the first time. Sabi uwo wurem uwo kurase na owo aboabone kaw. Upra unya accident asembeto kwanhia petu na wuhia dro bia any clinic a wo mu a enam Dr. Bawumia so ntini yetimi di drone to free ba be na de abraw a revolutionary a changing the faces of our society enye ono nko a enam Dr. Bawumia so yenya Ghana digital address system ene amanfo tifit mi odaduane ebama omogidi ebrum kra niema efiri internet so mane ba omofie tese o mining chichire no you need to begin from the basis e was won fan hye emfiri niema nketeketi binom so so wan hye emfiri niema nketeketi binom so a untumi nko niema nkesiem ebini dia mekeka kire wi ebini dia mekeka kire wi yewura Dr. Bawumia dawroma dabi na light bill impo ne hutua efia hodom tokwa na fiura for ne rent or tenant omokun and light bill. Dr. Bawumia baye onim say yes social problem to solve we emasabio and the light bill tia. You don't need to wait so be declared be free by be a passage na what tia. You buy it by yourself, you consume it and you buy another one comfortably sitting on your bed. Some no doors you can't we. And this man, he did all these things as a vice president too, not yet president. And imagine giving the leadership of this country to this man. Temiyepa. But Dr. Kanchile Ghana for say he prefer Ghana card than 10 interchange. And this is one kwasi for Eddie Baye and this is riding on Ghana card. Everything they are doing in the country today, the base, the omo fapping, the omudijina suye, the omoye piano, it is on Ghana card. But one doctor was telling them that Ghana card is much more important than say ubesi 10 interchange. Abra only identity of your citizens. No? And Crawford say omontiase. And what are they doing? And any public say no we don't go out there to bring somebody sabio papa we so no who wants them and then they no at the internet so eko and then yes we did your hin be atem yes we way that man okofan ba and people will be in opposition for another 12 years solid that benda and obeton Kennedy upon many pato that benda no be fa Kennedy upon ahohoro no te so dwan amana ho abaye fufu that Abra Dr. Bawumia. Ghana form pain for Dr. Bawumia running across the country since 2008. There is no district in Ghana, Dr. Bawumia 9 or 2 times. Every district in the country. And now people are still talking about Dr. Bawumia. And now I can say the economy of Ghana is running on the ideas of Dr. Bawumia. But who are brought some a woman. Ucha kwa no kono na ono so egu ngura no sunsu sensanfu chemiyepa so wo bronsam e wo fia wo ye wo nyuma pa no na ono so di akire eka niema fungum jebusa wo ye delegate fatu tim there is no presidential candidate in the party now. Or yes, stronger, formidable, winnable, humble, intelligent, capable than Dr. Bawumia. He is the one that we must let him move. Yenti and Sambia Doctor Ekana Samra.
Kugudu. Na adia ehia MPP mo eye nkabom ye ko 2028 election ye hia nkabom unni nkabom a untimi wini election elentina me pese nyame adom ye won nkabom a ye betimi a wini election no enti media me ye me campaign no nkabom nti mendidi obi atem men kasantia obia men bo obia din me kyerema adwen keke me kankyeremo ade a metimi aye ade a maye ade a me pese meye na mo ne me ya adwen a na mo ato aba no ama me na yakọ enti me pese me hye mo nyina bo se nyame adom mo de franka na hye me nsa meka obia abom na yakọ akọje tumi no kogodo na adia ehia MPP mo eye nkabom ye ko 2028 election ye hia nkabom unni nkabom a untimi wini election elentina me pese nyame adom
enti so tie papa we ya the campaign na oye he doesn't go hard on anyone because he understands the politics things. He believes that to win and to become a president of the Republic of Ghana, you need people to support you. Now, Papa Bakono, where dear Tema, dear, ne Papa we are even in MPP, there will be about 3 phases. It will be divided, MPP. Send Jinapor winning and now. The MPP will be in opposition because the division in the party will multiply.
Particularly Canada Japan. So we near Mimi who is it will be the most difficult a situation say MPP beat my winning power.
Say Canada Japan.
Yes.
Yes. The presidential slot now.
Yes.
A very difficult for MPP to
out
tell
of the
him.
5 for me. I want to be the most difficult. Pass MPP beat me a winning election.
Are they?
Masa, within MPP, from where I see it, how I see things, Canada Japan, we are brave, but the majority is quiet and silent.
They are living. They cannot. But then, 2025, they are going.
The chances within MPP from election 2024 election on the government in power are leading to the collapse of the government. The way of blackmailing or say a buying no image completely. A man can afford to a betia a buying no
mistake. Now I'm going to repeat it. August 26th. Allah, I swear to God.
Even within MPP man for more because there were some people who felt say they were not well fairly or set people in gather around Canada Japan. And so they said a lot of things. And we break it a shame crop so
sabotage.
That's how I see things.
People is looting this country as if there's no tomorrow. Wow! What do you mean? The youth of this country are not working. Now we're intimidating and control. I will put my life on the line and defend it.
May catch you said the majority are shit be MPP for no are shit be but they won't talk. They will not talk. The such a person within MPP no say no lead the MPP. I can tell you say a honum crano on fan easy.
When we need 4th November now or on free MPP
condition. yes, me free, but metinum, no metitio.
Wow, party.
Yeah, metitio.
Within MPP, he will not get the majority of MPP support, and the majority no and so because we are following a minority. According to 2023 election, we say we are minority, even though no following a large, but it's still minority.
President Akufo, member will show down. Vice President, member will show down. So, Mama chasing me agent. I'm not going to set them. What do you embassy? What do you embassy? Yes, the dynamic challenge President Akufo anytime.
And you know, who following crowd? Any we know say you don't have the crowd. So crowd na Antwa Bama no. Just who say they have an opinion against you within the party. Na said you kasa ya nyama wo ye ntino. One that crowd, which is about 67% or so, 64%. Sa crowd no. Because of the laugh for the party crana. Because about 40% will stay back. And when that happens, you know you have a big problem. And one hears some so lose now lose we are what my explanation why you also lost, looking at how you criticize obi o lose here. What does it me catch you say Jinapor when the MPP opposition for
Jinapor
or when it for say I say 31st now MPP opposition, and they will be in opposition for 8 years because the person when this or better win it another term. That is a clear me predict it. I mean, can't my
but when you listen to a support to the candidate Japan followers now, they say Ghana for the door now say I'm for candidate Japan ama Ghana for
campaign. It's not a
campaign mantra.
Yes, it's not a fact.
No kuna better no. So what? And 2 year delegates now Kotwaba at the Mackenzie Japan, you are just wasting your vote. Because Papa Monsieur when Kurana he or when Prime Minister he cannot lead the country. MPP will divide into 8 or 10 pieces. Now, me can Dr Bawumia sema ni pampers obejeti. Abusia. And now me no ka say. The ekoso enam suma NDC for bodede. NDC for eye the so more stabilize CD ne hwan ni nyina ye yura Bawumia na adweno ye niema bi ye yura Bawumia de to fom ene na ho aso abapa aduru se o senka ye bete a ya anom ai nkusie binom omo beduru Jubilee House a omo di so mfa so omo nka omo anu ntum. The domestic gold purchase program no I na menu sunti ene sabio NDC for ba ya fedie nti omo efrene gold board sebe ya nipe hu se ye Bawumia ni nyumo ye no that ewura Bawumia na nisu ade hu na onya ye in 2022 apra sidi no nke collapse no na enye me ma no na me de kan kwane watie. Dr Bawumia predicted how this gold is going to help us, and the processor ebefaso amagana for yenya faso with that domestic gold purchasing program. Besabre no na MPP why hin because Ghana ni ba hu se COVID koso wiase amansam nyina Ukraine Russia war kum wiase sika sem nyina eniema boa ye den amanfo ntumi nto even common awa ewa aburuchiri kwa no de ano aduane but Ghana ni se ono de onfa ho eye Bawumia ne nanado na ase Ghana economy enti ensama na doctor ka no no ka enipa enti ase nipa nya botre ntie enipa ntumi ntie nkwa ni mu ntie ntie ase nti no de papa ne ka ye bia no sabre no mu no na Ghana fo nyina ya poro. Apart from the 4 million people no mkoto abadema Dr Bawumia no enkai na aka ni nyina na ya no monsa aporo nti nsema na doctor kan na ye ntiase. It is 2022 na Dr Bawumia kan ye e de kire Ghana for say ye to gold de agu ye banks no mu e de aye ne bank reserves said de be ye benya enough of the gold aboa no e wo ho se ene na ye sika na se ba ne se ye kwa koto fango de abaga na manmu a instead of say ye di sika no kwa kobisa dollar na ama sabio edwadie mu more demand higher price enti more ye beka se ye di esi de koto dollars no ema dollar no bo no kosoro enti sa na tie de a yemfa sidi nto gold o Ghana manmu ne yemfa ngu ye bank ye kwa koto fango a yemfa gold nko direct ne yemfa nkonko jemra eno no obi enkese ye di sika na ekoji dollar na wati sika so enti doctor can say kwanya ye be fa so betumi ane say ye beto gold no agu ho ye to gold no bi gu ho na ye nya to do di gu ho wi a akire no ye beto gold no bi na say adwumaku ahodo akese binum ebe ye adwuma wo manum na omo di omo sika no de akwa instead of say ye di cedis be mo omo na omo de akwa akoto dollars no ye be mo omo gold na omo de akọ said ye be ya the pressure on the cedi no so be ba form Dr. Kaya kasi say be do ba gold no ye best kwa akoton bi e de age dollars na abaye manum ama ye ho atoye be sa bre dollar no asem na ye wure ka no eni pant DNT doctor no kasi ebeduru bre bi ene e be sa because sa bre no mu no ye ne reserves no enough for ho say betimi apaje bi akwa akoton because na efree yewura John yewura nkroma so emepem sabra na yewura Bawumia kasa no na Ghana for good ye tu ne wo Ghana manmu a individuals na di so mfaso a mepem ne no na Ghana for the ye wo bank 8 tons but Dr. Shah said within shorter possible time before leaving office near 30.1 ton of gold and ye Ghana for your gold but sabre no mo no na Ghana aban entumi emfa gold nkonkoton fa $100 ma because na IMF omo conditionalities na na da Ghana so no na ma ya kwanya se betimi aton gold dodo enti to gold no boa no senka ye koya nim na IMF fo yi omo conditionalities no efiri yen so a then we could have used the gold to manage our economy for it to become better. Now, listen to what I'm talking about. Nyansandi ewo kwanya na MPP for faso ye omo de no. And they say the MPP knows say aban keso de okoto gold afri garamsey for ho a it said ye kan kire garamsey for so omo nkoso no omo nye omo adwuma. So Ghana aban and the MPP government was dealing directly with large scale miners. Omo wan krata no mo ye adwuma no wo kwampapa so no. Sa nipa na sabio Bank of Ghana ni omo didwa. But yese kwasia o kire na ade a boko no wadi adam. NDC for ba yom be hu se sa ade na Dr Bawumia no mo ye no. The omo ye ne say they are buying gold from the galamseyers, which means they are providing funds, money for the galamseyers to do more galamsey. Timiyepa. This is totally different. Nene, the ekosu Ghana munyina. The yehu no Ghana nyina. Yewura Dr Bawumia. Na adwene enene ntiase. Ini nim dia Nyankopon de cheno. Pomodna na tie video amebo akire wi. Na tie nsema Yewura Bawumia na oka. Emfien miensa bi atwemu ko. Na opredete ye. Nsema oka ye no ene. That is what we are enjoying today. Yanko tie video no. Message say, oh Hemia, we are for Dr. Bawumia. Support Dr. Bawumia by donating any amount of money that you can. Who Ghana maimu or any other country. But me send this ikedi akọ momo number we ya eda screen me ase. Who American so but me send this ikano edi akọ zelle account number we so. O send dia msrewa o modern screenshot na fa ebra be kire so be ya to me accountability at the amount that young Dr Bawumia abra no predicted the importance of introducing domestic gold purchase program.
Beyond the IMF, however, we have to look for fundamental solutions to some of our problems. As our foreign exchange reserves have declined, the depreciation of the cedi, as I have noted, has accelerated. A major source of cedi depreciation has been the demand for foreign exchange to finance the import of oil products. In fact, our import of oil products is around $3 billion annually. Persistent cedi depreciation increases the cost of living with higher prices for fuel, transportation, utilities, food, and so on. Many governments, including ours, are facing a very difficult economic crisis that requires solutions that must come out of the box. How do we stop the depreciation? How do we stop the persistent increases in the prices of fuel and utility? We have been thinking about this long and hard. When you think about it, ladies and gentlemen, the challenge that we face is a limited access to foreign exchange, as our foreign exchange reserves have depleted and the demand has not fallen, but the demand has been relatively steady for that lower foreign exchange reserves. And so the demand exceeds the supply, and then you have depreciation. So the thinking that we said, okay, how do we get in more foreign exchange reserves for the country to be able to stem this gap between the demand and the supply? One of the things that occurred to us and to me was, why aren't we able to accumulate reserves in terms of gold? We have focused on accumulating reserves over the years in terms of US dollars and other currencies. But gold is a foreign exchange reserve. And the unique feature of gold is that we are endowed with gold. We produce gold in Ghana. Which means you don't have to export gold to earn that foreign exchange. You have to export cocoa, you have to export timber and other goods, foods and so on, to earn the foreign exchange. With gold, immediately you dig it up, it is foreign exchange. So you are essentially digging up foreign exchange. So I said, let me check how much gold we have accumulated in Ghana thus far. And when you look at the data between independence and 2021, we had accumulated just 8 tons of gold. 8 tons. We are one of the largest gold producing countries in the world. But we had accumulated 8 tons. When I looked at the United States, they have over 8,000 tons. The IMF, many other countries in Europe are dealing with gold reserves of over 2,000 tons. And we have 8 tons of gold. We proceeded to say, the Bank of Ghana, we suggested to the central bank to begin a gold purchase program, systematically to build up our reserves in gold. And the gold program started last year, and it is proceeding quite well. But to address this fundamental challenge that we all face of the persistent depreciation and its impact on fuel, in utility prices, food, and so on, government has opted to implement a policy of using our gold to buy oil products. That is something new, and it is the barter of sustainably mined gold for oil. And this is one of the most important economic policy changes in Ghana since independence. If we implement it as we have envisioned, it will fundamentally change our balance of payments and significantly reduce the persistent depreciation of our currency with its associated increases in fuel, electricity, water, transport, and food prices. Why would it stop these persistent increases in fuel, water, and food prices? It is very simple. This is because the exchange rate, whether you are looking at the spot exchange rate or the forward exchange rate, will no longer directly enter the formula for the determination of fuel or utility prices once we implement this, because the purchases of fuel and for transport and utility is going to be in cedis. It's not going to be in dollars. So because you're buying that fuel with gold, that is where the exchange takes place. But once you sell that fuel, you sell it in cedis. And then the Bank of Ghana uses those cedis to buy more gold and buy the oil, you sell it, and then it goes around in that way. But essentially, you are taking the exchange rate out of the equation. Today, our fuel prices are being priced at an exchange rate, a forward exchange rate of 19 cedis to the US dollar. Today, what we are paying at the pump is being priced at 19 cedis to the US dollar. So you can imagine when you price without the exchange rate in the formula, which is what is going to happen. We've already done some simulations. Then you will see that the prices of fuel will come down. And similarly, for PURC, if the exchange rate doesn't enter the equation, which it shouldn't because the transactions will be in cedis, similarly, then electricity tariffs will also have to come down. Because what you are now going to see, because one of the biggest, when you look at what drives fuel price increases, what drives electricity price increases, and therefore the cost of doing business, it's fundamentally the exchange rate. Major driver of these price increases. So if you are able to have a handle on the exchange rate movement, you are able to lower the depreciation of the currency at the same time as you lower this. And you are going to lower the depreciation of the currency because instead of the oil importers, especially the BDCs, going to the Bank of Ghana's window every few weeks to ask for foreign exchange to import oil, that one goes away. So we are saving $3 billion annually from the lack of demand from the Bank of Ghana for the foreign exchange. So that reduces the pressure on the cedi immediately. And therefore you will see much slower depreciation of the currency. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, since we announced this, I put this out on my Facebook, there's been a lot of discussion with the BBC, Reuters, Bloomberg, and some misinterpretation. This has been misinterpreted as Ghana being against the use of US dollars in international transactions. This really is not the case. We are not on any mission against the use of US dollars in international transactions. Far from it. In fact, we want to accumulate more US dollars in our reserves. But we have a specific issue to deal with oil imports and the nexus between those oil imports and the prices of fuel and transport and food and utilities. And that is essentially what we are targeting, to exchange our gold for the oil, take that path, and therefore insulate the domestic economy, domestic industry from the persistent depreciation that we see in the currency that affects the cost of doing business and the cost of living. So that is hopefully cleared.
Yes, Dr Bawumia kan ye o kan 2023 mu ho and or can same way. But then ninsem no kaya no. It is happening today. And what I want to just make it clear is say when nipa bi say wo ho when you full print, blueprint da ho dada. Oba no abeto na adwuma so a. Why should we now go in for different person? And the NDC for they are calling something called gold board just because they want to bury the name of Dr. Bawumia from Ghana 14. Because he had two gold board, ni Jan ho PMMC. Now you who said Dr. Bawumia implementations na gusu and then ama na the hu ya. People will start thinking about Dr. Bawumia. So NDC had a way to change the name of the project and call it a different name. And see video ya me boy 2025 video na me watch the war. Video way a 2022 2023 video. And we have someone what it takes to come and lead this party, make it a better party, and transmissioned into be the president of the Republic. Obama Omaya Ghana no, a friend Ghana no, a general national ya kono na ye krabe. Meeting ene Mr. Mafo Ras Media GH or Remenso Ras Media on Facebook. Medawase ene obre ene wadaje. Michado Fonina, Mesro say we are supporting Dr. Bawumia campaign by Momo on 024-501-6711. Edino eye as a kwache. Sansuna o America mama na person support on support na person be send this cano dia kofi akoga na mamu nso a obetunya send akozele on account number 201-744-3036. And also unity aboaje and EBP. Meso se mo Dr. Bawumia campaign way nana jumano and you pay your money because D-Day on the 31st January no, you need to cash out some people. Abuja madam nyina se ene mobre mama mfanchia ema miwia Dr. Nana ai ene abusianfo mo ba Facebook Daniel Rex Salawu Idrisu Abubakar Osman Asari Nicholas ena Abuana Mohammed Bashiru chacha mu nyina eda mu nyina se meso se omadana like video no mame na comment share mama nso na enko nanim unsubscribe to this channel so meso se subscribe na beka busianko no se be ya the life will be about be one of the first people on Sabeka makra mu nyina me do besia se de tibia e be shia ochina until we meet again adios.